Okay, skill four, activity one. Now this is one activity, but there's many layers that you could do. So you could stretch this into multiple different activities. So I'm just going to show you how the layers of activities that you can do with skill four, activity one, because there's only one activity for this. So I'm going to show you the different things that you can do. Okay. The first one is there's all these cards in here, right? Go ahead and you can print them and cut them out. If you don't want to cut them out, you don't necessarily have to, but you'll want to keep these handy because it'll just give you the quick different numbers, the goals of what we're trying to do with this, okay? So the first thing that you can do is you can go ahead and you can write in the circle right here, you can go ahead and write one, right? And that's going to represent one whole. And then what you can do is you can go ahead and put the less than whole, the equal to a whole, and then the greater than one whole. All right, then you can just go through card by card and say, okay, is it less than one, equal to one, or greater than one? Because the goal is to make sure one, they understand that fractions less than one, if fractions are less than one, and there are one whole can exist within a fraction format, and even multiple wholes can exist in a fraction format. So some kids think just because it's in a fraction, it has to be less than one, and so we're gonna show them all the different ways. So the 4/4, we know that that's equal to one, and then we have, say, 5/5. Again, that's equal to one. We have 1/2. We know that's less than one. We have 4/7. We know that's less than one. 2/2 is more than one. We have 2/1, and again, remember that's two wholes. Just the fraction form of writing two wholes. And again, we have two wholes is greater than one as well. We have 1 is equal to 1. Obviously, I think you get the point. So you go ahead and do some type of sort like that where you're going through and doing it that way. And so that's sort of the first layer that you could do, is identifying, less than 1, equal to 1, or greater than 1. Okay? The next thing that you could do is you could go ahead and you could randomly just put two fractions right here and then have them compare them and say, okay, we have 3/1, which is 3, or 3/5, which is greater, and we know that would be like this, okay? And then you can go ahead and you could say, okay, 4/7 and 6/6, which one's greater? And again, remember, they always are going to have a 50% chance of getting it right just by guessing, so make sure you make them explain it. Oh, 6/6, well, that's a whole, and 4/7 isn't quite a whole. And you don't have to use the cards. You could write, 8/9 or 10/10, but remember, the whole goal of X Skill 4 Activity 1 is understanding that a fraction is less than 1, and also the ways that a whole or multiple wholes can exist within a fraction too. So they're never actually going to be comparing a fraction to per se, a fraction less than 1. It's always going to be a whole or multiple wholes in fraction form. Again, so like, 6/6 is a whole, or 3/1, that's multiple wholes, but it's still a whole or multiple wholes, and you're always going to have them comparing that either to each other or to a fraction less than 1. But you never want to have them compare fractions to fractions, because we're not ready for that. It's not what our goal is right now. So, all right, and so that's it. Go ahead and you can have them print this up, have them use this as a sort, or you can use these as your fractions that you want to compare, and then you can go ahead and have them sort, or you can just put random fractions here and have them compare, and always having them explain what they're doing.